Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. My name is Isaac Christopher Lubogo, and I'm today privileged and honored to have the one and only, the indomitable man of no mean words, the man who has the vocabulary of words in his own accord. He's an authority of sorts in this country. No doubt he has had his footprints stamped on the East African community. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of these days you come up with one of the books, perhaps the Locus Classicus, as far as comprehending East African issues. But today what we're going to discuss is in terms of international humanitarian law. I found him very confident with matters that have to do with international humanitarian law. And something that is disturbing me, particularly in light of what I want to ask him, is Honorable Mbidde, do we have individuals in this country who you could term as stateless individuals?
Yes, and it is something quite disturbing. We have got persons that are Banyarwanda speakers. These persons have been told consistently, pursuant to the 1995 Constitution, that actually they are included in the Constitution of Uganda.
Banyarwanda speakers.
Yes, as citizens of Uganda by birth, referred to as Banyarwanda. But when you read the third schedule to the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, that schedule generates them as one of the numbers, either number 20 or 24, one of those. They are called Banyarwanda. Now, Banyarwanda speakers think that they are the Banyarwanda cited in that schedule. But succinctly, what you need to know is the law on citizenship by birth is buttressed in Article 10. Until you fall under the description under Article 10, whether you speak Banyarwanda or not, you are not a citizen of Uganda by birth.
Wow.
Now, that Article 10 establishes a threshold, and it states that you can be born either in or outside Uganda, but either of your parents or grandparents must have been a member of an indigenous ethnic community in Uganda as at 1st February 1926.
Excellent.
Now, that is the threshold established. All these people, when they give you their records of migration, they are actually persons that entered Uganda up to 1959. In fact, when you go to immigration, they are popularly referred to as 59ers. And that is a categorization of persons that actually should not be given any documentation. Until you express to them that you are a subject of intermarriage. And why are we talking about intermarriage? Because in Uganda, you can determine ethnicity in terms of regional location. For example, Basoga come from Busoga. Bacholis come from northern Uganda, and so on. But where the Banyarwanda come from, they are popularly a roving ethnic group or community. Now, once you appear to be part of the roving ethnic group, then if you do not have any subject of intermarriage between you, the roving ethnic group member, and a substantive ethnic group that has got a regional location, clearly you have failed to describe yourself as Uganda.
Why?
Because 1926,
Yes.
that reference and the threshold established, by the way, despite that it does not have any originality other than 1995. And this is extremely laughable, because members of the Constituent Assembly established the threshold as a new matter. They did not have, and I have got, it is my considered view, that since they did not have the authority to establish boundaries for Uganda, they equally did not have authority to revisit citizenship by birth.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because the threshold of 1926 was a new import. It is alien. It does not have its historicity from the 1962 Constitution, when Uganda was created, the 1966 Constitution, 1967 Constitution, and accordingly it was an alien importation by members of the Constituent Assembly.
Now, Honorable, I want you to break down for me the different types of Banyarwanda or Banyarwanda. Categorize them.
So these are the categories.
Yes.
There is a category of persons speaking Banyarwanda, particularly from the regions of Mbororo, Ntungamo, Lukonjiri, and some parts of Kanungu.
Yes.
Simply because those are areas that were carved out of the former Rwanda kingdom.
Okay.
So clearly, they are Kinyarwanda speakers.
That's one group.
That is one group.
Yes.
Now, that group can pass the threshold test of 1926.
Okay.
Because clearly, their land was carved out of a kingdom,
yes,
and by the carving out took effect in 1926.
Okay.
And in my opinion, that was the reference point. But then, there is a group of persons speaking Kinyarwanda.
Yes.
Whose parents and grandparents came from one Burundi, and others came from Rwanda.
Yes.
They entered Uganda ranging from 1925 up to 1959. In fact, immigration clearly calls them the 59ers, as I told you.
Yes.
Now, these are people who are Kinyarwanda speaking. They speak Kinyarwanda.
Yes.
They live in areas, they call them categorizing. They live in Kiboga, they live in Butorogo, Piji, Masaka, Luwero.
Yes.
These are persons that do not know anything to do with Rwanda and Burundi. They don't know even what happens there.
Yes.
But because of the provisions of the constitution,
yes,
clearly they don't fall under the category of persons that belong to an ethnic group as members, despite, by the way, that we don't have a register of ethnic groups.
Right.
It has never existed.
Right.
To the extent that one can prove membership,
right,
whether you were there or not.
Right.
So it is a guesswork procedure, but which immediately kicks out those that cite any of the regions of Uganda,
right,
except Mbororo and those other regions as their origin.
Right.
So there is a problem.
Those were two groups.
Those are two groups.
Yes.
Now the first group located in those areas are actually Ugandans.
Yes.
They can pass the threshold test of 1926.
Okay.
Now the rest of the roving groups in Uganda speaking Kinyarwanda are actually stateless. They are not Ugandans, except if they are the subject of intermarriage.
Okay.
Between them and those that.
Okay, there's a group I was interested in because you talked about those are the ones that were carved off, the ones of the Chisoro,
yes,
Kabororo, Ntungamo, and then you talked about those who are, and then the former, call them refugees who are registered.
Yes.
Then
we have got registered refugees.
Yes.
Now those ones, if you have got a register of refugees, clearly they don't become Ugandans. We have got children of former diplomats. They are not Ugandans, whether born or in or outside Uganda. But we have got persons that came here for other purposes, labor,
yes,
and persons who are not anywhere indicated in the register. So these are supposed to be Ugandans, and but those now they are stateless.
That's as far as 1925?
Yes.
Okay.
They are stateless.
And then those from Burundi, you mentioned?
They are also there. You know, Burundi, incidentally, is also one of the ethnic groups, actually under the third schedule. But most of them don't want to refer themselves as Burundi. I am told some of them are beginning to refer to themselves as Bavandimwe because they don't want to be called Banyarwanda because they don't think they owe origin from Rwanda, but at the same time they don't want to refer to themselves as Burundi, so they have chosen to be Christian Bavandimwe. Bavandimwe meaning person from the same, generally the same womb.
I see.
It is a reference to brotherhood. Okay, but all of these.
Yes, Honorable. Can you make a reference in light of 1948 in terms of the Protected Citizens Act?
Yes. Yes. So, what we need to tell Uganda is that we have never had Uganda until 1962. Right. What we all were are protected persons. Yes. Under the 1948 protected, of course, British Protectorate Citizens Act. Yes. Now, when we headed to the formation of the country called Uganda, yes, towards 1962, particularly 9th October, on the midnight of 8th October 1962, when independence was going to be declared the next day, right, that midnight, whoever was a protected citizen under Articles 7, 8, and 9 of the 1962 Constitution, yes, became a citizen of Uganda. Right. Now, all their children, grandchildren, became now citizens of Uganda. Right. Now, the members of the CA, who gave them the right to skedaddle, to run away from the laid out path on citizenship, established by the 1962 Constitution, and instead introduce a new threshold of 1926. That is number one.
That's number one, yes.
Two, to establish a measurement called ethnicity. How can we refer to ethnic groups while giving details of citizenship by birth?
Right.
It is like a dicycle, first of all. Why? Because there are two sets of laws that apply to the two. Citizenship by birth is a matter of municipal law.
Right.
It is a matter of sovereignty.
Right.
It is a matter of sovereign laws.
Right.
However, ethnicity is a matter of international law. Ethnicity is extraterritorial. It goes and it transcends beyond the territory.
Right.
So how can you use evidence of an extraterritorial nature to prove a fact that is intraterritorial and the subject of a different set of laws? So members of the Constituent Assembly erred, and they must take up that error, sorry, and we delete, we amend the Constitution, particularly Article 10, because it has created stateless persons, over 8 million people.
Yes.
And in fact, I am grateful that the government extended the review of national ID, because all Banyarwanda speaking persons, majority of them, in all these regions of Uganda, except the region cited in Mpororo and Solo, we are all going to be declared stateless.
Wow, excellent. I think viewers, you've had, instantly we seem to have stateless individuals in this country, and I think that is the drum major that Honorable Mbidde is trying to measure in here, so that we can create a law that can be able to accommodate each and every individual, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their origin or whatever, so that we can have a homogeneous entity that can accommodate all of us. Once again, I would like to thank you, sir, Honorable Mbidde, and I think this is something that will be very instrumental in an upcoming book that I am trying to convince him to partner with me to write on international humanitarian law. Already I'm aware that it's coming up with a hot book coming soon, and as far as the East African community, I think Honorable Mbidde has established himself as a locus classicus even in jurisprudence in terms of East African community issues. So once again, God bless you. My name is Isaac Christopher Lubogo, and this is Sue Journalist. God bless you and thank you for your attention.